Jerry, 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 Jerry. All right, welcome back.
What the fuck? I'm back. See ya.
Did you know, speaking of coming back from history,
It works. Roll with it.
I'll take it. Linkin Park's back, kind of,
Yeah.
in a way. So, Linkin Park,
Woof.
lost two people from the original band, and they replaced both of them. And a couple days ago, it was Sunday or Monday. They came back. They did a little live stream and sang a new song and some of their old songs. And it was very obvious that there was a new front individual. I don't want to use the word replaced, but they filled this singing slot with this artist, this singer named Emily Armstrong. The new song that they released sucked. It was awful. I don't know. It sounded very poppy. Like, it had a very pop punk.
Not Linkin Park.
Yeah, it didn't sound very Linkin Park.
Right.
The covers were fine. Like, she's a good singer, but the covers were fine, and it was very obvious that, like, they did it not to, like, they brought her on because she's a good singer, and not to like convey that they're actually trying to replace Chester Benningfield. Benningfield. Where the fuck did that come from? So I think that was good. But if the new stuff sounds anything like the one song that they did, the new song that they did, I'm probably not going to be very interested in it.
That kind of sucks.
Yeah.
In which case, if it's not the same vibe as the Linkin Park, then just make it a new band that also does Linkin Park covers.
Well, that was my thing, and I was talking to my wife about this, because I was telling her about Dead and Co. Right, that, like, members. Yeah.
Go on.
Members of the band passed, right, and instead of just replacing them, they're this new thing, and there's still old members and there's some new members, but they, do this some of the same songs, right, and it's a little more, I don't know, malleable.
I was gonna ask, you kind of answered it, but are the Linkin Park covers that they do, do they sound like Linkin Park? Or
the
is
covers do. But
it's not like listening and being like, oh, this is a cover. It's not like Metallica's cover of Turn the Page by Bob Seger. It's not like, oh, this is a cover.
Or it's obvious it's a cover because it's a female singer. That's the only reason.
Okay, fair. But, like, what about, like, the music, like the tone and, like, the tempo?
Hit or miss. I would say some of the instruments sound exactly the same.
Okay, so then, yeah. Because I was gonna say, Dead and Co. is kind of a bad example because they're the official Grateful Dead cover band, but Grateful Dead they toured for 30 years, so over the years they've had replacements in the band, but also have had so many different tones and styles and tempos on the same songs,
right,
that a cover band is kind of still sounds like it could be an original, minus the singers, like you said. But then to go back to the other example, Turn the Page, Bob Seger and Metallica, totally different songs, same song. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and probably using Dead & Co. is an example, is a bad example as well, because they're a 20-minute song jam band, and Linkin Park has
right, like
3-minute songs.
their songs, yeah, their songs, you can't compare covers to originals in a way, because they have the same like choruses, song verses, but even the like guitar leads in the song leads in the choruses and verses, I mean, are different song
Yeah.
to song to concert. Alan, the solos are just jams anyway, so
Right.
they're all improvised. They're
Yep. Yeah, probably a bad comparison, but um well, the other thing too is she's kind of, so I'm not the only one that feels like this should have probably just been a cover band. Um, there's a lot of people that feel that way, including Chester's son, who hates it and feels like it's a dishonor to his dad, right? Um,
right.
which is a totally valid feeling, right? My my theory, and I'm waiting for someone to prove or disprove this theory. My theory is that the label still owns the music, and they wouldn't be able to play the songs if they were not the band, and that there was
Oh, that's true.
something in the original contract that said, you know, the label owns those songs for X amount of
Right,
years, and that the
right.
band would not be allowed to cover it, or would have to pay to cover their own songs if they formed under a new name. That's my
That's
theory.
that's actually a little tidbit going back to Dead and Company. I remember on a podcast one time when Dead and Company first started, like 2016, 2017. John Mayer was talking about his relationship with Bob Weir, one of the originals from
Mm.
Grateful Dead. And he was like, "Yeah, Bob Weir's great. You know, we get along. He told me take any of these songs you want and play them at like your own shows. Would I like do make a
Uh,
like even though you're in Dead and Company, you still can't play them at a John Mayer concert because it's not Dead and Cut. You know?" I was
yeah,
like, I never really thought about that, but that's an interesting piece.
yeah. Labels are really weird about stuff, and I think we talked about T Pain last time, or maybe we were just talking about T
I
Pain.
was I was gonna say I feel like I just heard something. I guess it was with you. Yeah.
um, but T Pain spent a lot of time not releasing things because he wanted to get out of his label. Like they were controlling a lot of the things that he was doing. So, um, I'm
Oh,
fairly.
I actually that's not what I was thinking of. I heard there's someone I forget who uh pays X amount of royalties every year to someone because of music.
Uh,
Something crazy like that. I forget what the damn. I'll have to find that for next
it's
time.
it's a
Go
very
back to it.
common thing. I feel like you're not going to find the exact thing that you're looking for just because it's so common. It's like,
Bet, bet. I'll show you.
okay, show me out. um, so yeah, so Chester's son's mad. There's also already controversy around this singer. I don't know if you were paying attention to any of the news around Danny Masterson.
Never heard of them.
You ever watch that '70s show?
Yeah,
He's Hyde.
I don't know which one. The redhead.
No, the
Uh,
curly hair with the sunglasses.
yeah, isn't that like reddish hair? Whatever. I know who you're talking about.
um, he's in jail for the next 30 years for either sexual assault or harassment. I don't remember what it was. Um,
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. So when that happened, um, sexual assault. Just found it. Um, so when that happened, there were individuals that like were asked to. Not, I don't want to say they were like character. Um, what would you call that in a court? Like, they're not testifying based on facts. They're like character witnesses is maybe what it's called.
Yeah, I know what you mean at least.
Yeah. So she was asked to do that. She was friends with somebody that was involved in the whole ordeal. So people are kind of going after her, claiming that she was friends with Danny, and she kind of owned up to it on Instagram. She's like, she was asked to support him at court, and she went to one of the early hearings as like an observer, and then she regretted it. Like, she realized she shouldn't have been there, and she shouldn't have, like, quote unquote, been there to support him. But at the time, a lot of people just assumed it wasn't true.
Right.
And then it was found it was true, and then everyone, said, no, we don't want to be anywhere near him. So she kind of got caught up in that controversy, and people are giving her a really hard time about it.
I don't think that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. Sometimes our friends do dumb shit. I would say what he did is a little more than dumb shit, but people are also giving her a hard time because she's a Scientologist.
Oh wow, she has quite a sheet.
Yeah. It's funny though, because no one gives Tom Cruise a hard time. He's been a Scientologist since I've been watching.
Yeah, because he pays the papers not to give him a hard time.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, he's high up in Scientology now.
Well, yes, but like, the papers don't do this anymore. Like, this is like the Twitter, Instagram sphere of cyber activists going after people. So it's not even like people were going after her before this article was written.
That's fair, I guess.
So I don't know. You would think like people would go after everybody, not just one random girl. But what do I know?
You would think. And it's a weird place. Weird place, man.
But we'll see. I think the full album drops next month. The full new album. So we'll give that a lesson. Mini segue. Did you see that there's an expanded album dropping from Eminem in a couple days?
Of course.
On Friday.
Of course. Yeah. I didn't see a date, but okay. Friday. Now I know. Yeah. All right, nice.
I saw that today when I was scrolling through Twitter in bed. I was like, oh.
It says expanded, so usually expanded is like a couple more songs and maybe a couple skits or something.
Yeah.
But I also see stuff that's saying it's going to be a whole nother album, like B-side was to Music to Be Murdered by Side B. So I'm hoping that it's a whole nother album and the story continues, but I don't know. I love Eminem, so I'll find out.
And then I'm sure I'll hear about it.
What the fuck? I'm back. See ya.